this last session of this meeting in Cortina, and we will start with the presentation by the student of the Medical School of Parma. As you know, since the last few years, last few editions of the Parma ECO meeting, we had the involvement, the contribution of the student of the Medical School of Parma. They have participated, they have contributed, and we were very much inside of this part of the program, and we wanted them to be part of the program, because as we have said here many times, our duty now, our mission in some way, is to educate in the young generation, to the team, to the values, let's say, to the ideal that we believe in, and so this is a very important part of even of this reunion here in Cortina. We were looking forward their coming here, and we are glad that there were present also students from Budapest, Stefan, who left yesterday, from Bucharest, Anna, who also left yesterday, and there are students from the University of
Technion.
From Israel.
Yeah.
And so, this is, and it's important because even in the future, if we want to do something and continue to work on our project, we want to have the student involved and doing a good part of the program. And not only the medical student, we are thinking also of the student of the high school, as we see in the world, in the entire world, how the youngster, a young girl from Sweden, from Norway, Greta, is now moving in some way all the youngster of the world for the good cause of solving our planet. So the students are a very important part of not only this program, but of in general of the let's say of the politics of the world. More and more will be in the future. So let's. I will present these two students. This is Andrea, and this is David. They are from the University of Parma. David is on the 6th year of medical school, Andrea on the 4th year of medical school. And we will, I want, Sandro Contini is a surgeon, a general surgeon from our university, and he has done a lot of work in Parma and in the world. He has made many missions around the world, and now he's back in Parma and is devoting himself, continuing the profession, but also being a link with the students of the University of Parma. So, Sandro, I want you to come here.
Well, maybe later. Maybe
No,
later.
and okay, we will sit in front, and you will conduct.
Okay.
Chi è di voi prima? Andrea.
First of all, I want to thank Dr. Scarcia for inviting us and involving us in the project, and to the Parma gang for having us today. When we first heard about the proposed theme, doctors as peacemakers, we were a bit worried. How can we connect peace, the struggle for peace, to the job as a doctor? After a while, one possible answer jumped out thinking right about a pacemaker. The instrument, simplifying, gives the heart the possibility of beating regularly, of keeping a harmony, even when there are episodes of arrhythmia or even cardiac arrest. This is exactly our point. Arrhythmic beats, arrests, this is equal to what world is facing with poverty, war, climate change, and massive death and poverty-related immigration. Let's face the reality. The next 30 years will face a deep, a never before and unpredictable change of the condition we have known on our planet. Not only because of the climate change that brings a lot with it, but also because of the war-based economy that is now that is imploding, because of the duties between states on food and products, war that is now running, and we have really big consequences for the food accessibility to the population. Even more, water crisis. Clean water access is the basic and essential condition for a healthy population. Doctors of the next 30 years will have to face immigration, war, illnesses connected with the climate change, and most of all, malnutrition due to food scarcity and low-quality water supplies. This is why doctors, who know well how amazing the human machine is, how extraordinary and complex but also fragile the physiology of the body is, should worry about becoming peace ambassadors. We want you to think about this example, just to show how everything we say is connected and is also very actual. In Africa, war, poverty, scarcity of food and clean water, desertification and impossible climate conditions are pushing part of the population to the northern regions, such as Italy, with lots of death due to dehydration by walking through the desert. If they end up in Libyan detention camps, they will meet torture with body lesions, psychiatric and psychological disorders. When they finally reach a boat to travel, they will again face food and water scarcity, and children and pregnant women will be even more exposed to consequences, damages of this food scarcity. Not talking about the bad hygiene condition which allows a lot of infection to spread. It is clear that a doctor who dreams about a healthy population cannot ignore all of this, and his duty is to act. But we see a problem there, and let us make another example. If a patient comes to your attention with reflux, you will collect a full history and see that his obesity condition is a cofactor, his smoking habit is also influencing, and so on. You will conduct some exams and finally give him a PPI or even perform surgery. You will do that based on your experience and on the history. You will tell him not to smoke, to practice sport, and reduce the daily food intake, for example. The problem is that you can't say to a patient with post-traumatic stress disorder to a detention period or a bad living condition, do not think about torture, do not expose to food and water scarcity, and please avoid states at war. This brings us to the point. Doctors can only be peacemakers if they are well aware of the risk factors and events from a medical point of view. Just by thinking that climate change is as bad as smoking, war worse than genetic predisposition, and cleaning water more important than a 30-minute walk every day, we will start having the right mindset. In addition to that, it is easy to imagine that a healthy population is probably in a better psychological and physical condition. Being good, conscientious, careful, aware doctor is the only way this profession will survive the next 30 years. 2020 is a bridge. We are now more than 20 years away from the 20th century, where living condition and expectancy of life raised incredibly fast due to a lot of science and society progresses. In this new century, there will be a big contraction that has already begun. We can no longer ignore that our role as doctors will change. We will need to change. We don't even know if the monetary, climate and population crisis will allow us to continue bettering our science. We have to think back to a basic approach. Enough food and clean water, peace to allow people to live safely into their homes, earth temperature not rising too much, desertification not evolving. And in order to do that, we think young doctors in a global view have to meet each other. They have to talk about all those topics. All this is behind our motivation and our ideas for the next year. And in a few moments, David will try to explain what we think in the details as a possible development of this team. Let me present the team that will work briefly. A lot of them are not here today. Sorry. Okay, so we have David, that is here today. He's also the president of CISM Parma, which is an association of medical students that is part of the IFMSA, International Federation of Medical Student Association. And he has created this year the ProMed event that David will then explain, and this event will play also a role the next year. And with the help of Georgia, that is another member of our group team. There is Leah, and is the local exchange officer that manages 50 bilateral exchanges every year. That means 50 exchange students from all over the world arriving to Parma to attend a clerkship, and 50 students from Parma going through all the world for attending a clerkship. For example, David has been in Jordan in August, and I will go to China in October. I am the local officer of Human Rights and Peace of CISM. That's also why I'm really interested about the topic, and I accepted immediately the offer of Professor Squarcia. I hope that my 2 years experience in the association will be helpful. There are others that could not be there today, and I want to briefly mention them. Dario is the medical education officer. Then there is Francesca, Samuele, and Riccardo that are student representatives, as well as Dario and me. Elena, which has been a student representative and has now finished. She got her degree. And I also want to mention Professor and Medicine School Director Lorella Franzoni, who couldn't join us today because of another convention she has to go to. She's always very open and supportive. She's aware of our ideas and will help us to be prepared for the next years. Talking about now the hardest part, but the most important one, we will only mention the cost that such an event that now David is going to explain will be. We are not able to play a big role in the crowdfunding, which is necessary not only to allow students to come from all over the world to this Congress of the next year, but also transportation for covering the ProMed costs and the conference speakers' costs. We need to deal with these issues as soon as possible, because unfortunately, I talked also with Professor Franzoni today, the University of Parma and we as association, we cannot provide an economic help. We can only provide a human help and our energies and enthusiasm, but unfortunately, there is no money. Because without enough economic resources, all of these ideas will not be affordable.
Bravo.
Okay. Now, I'm David, nice to meet you. I'm quite excited to be here and to join us, okay? I think that the other students would understand me better, okay? And sorry for my English, I know that I have to improve my level of English, so I could try to be the better, okay? And I'm a practical man, so I'm the president of this association, and I used to do everything with planning, okay, and with also when we do a project, okay, we have to have everything, it will be clear, okay, every step, so every time my mind is so practical, okay, and I would like to explain you all the details, okay, that we have things all together with also the other students for the event of the next year. Okay, so the project provides 3 different steps, and for the first steps is to implement an online meeting between students, okay, and to start the discussion and sponsor the event. After the discussion between students and also professor in the last meeting, okay, in Parma, we think that the easiest way is to use an exciting web platform, okay, for the reason that there is not enough time to do a new platform, and also for another reason that there is a lot of platform and a lot of social media and social community such as Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, so it's not necessary to do another new platform, okay, that because the market is so crowded, okay, of all of this, and this is very, very, I think, dangerous, okay, because we need to focus the attention of the students from other country in the problem, okay, and not how to use another platform, okay. This is my point of view. First of all, we will create a Facebook page or a group, okay, and where present the project, share articles of topic of discussion of various subjects that could be climate change, global health, and also migration policies. And at the third point, updating students on project progress. One of our aim is to create a community as great as possible to promote the spread and advertise the event. We could also use the network of IFMSA. I have already told with the president from Italy of the NMO and also from other NMO that are in the network of this international federation, and there is the possibility to sharing all the information through this network that is already done, okay? So we can use this and don't make a new platform or a new network. That I think that is the simplest and way to do this, okay? In this step, we will create a social media manager, okay, who will manage all socials such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and this person will be crucial to create capturing posts and topics and to manage all the material we will receive, all the suggestions from other university and students, and we will find an official name for the social media and for the email. The second step will be the creation of an e-learning platform. We have talked a lot about this e-learning platform, and we think that is a very great idea, okay? And on the other side, I made a survey using the SISM and also the AFMSA email to understand which are the platforms most used by the student. And we think that the most used and also easiest to use is YouTube. A lot of students would like to find some information also about practical skills and other arguments, other objects, and using YouTube. So our idea is that the simplest way we can make a list of subjects regarding both theoretical and practical aspects. Then we can develop together with the professors and with the teachers who will work together on the project. The idea is to share this list, okay, with the other universities that are available to cooperate with us in order to expand the offer of these practical aspects, okay. And after that, through Facebook, we will open a survey to understand what items of the list to develop first. Okay, so making a list of arguments that we can develop in Parma as videos, theoretical and also practical skills. That is something that we used to do. For example, during our events, we used to have a workshop for practical skills and to record this workshop to share with other students. Okay, so I think that is the easy way. And after that, we can do a list of this workshop, okay, with our teacher, and share this list with other Italy university or also with the other country, and so to expand the offer of these arguments, okay? After that, making a survey on Facebook, and so also the students from other country, especially from war area or for example in the developing country, could choose the field that they would like to develop, okay, that they would like that we develop for us, okay, for them. After that, through the Facebook page, we will open a survey to understand, and with the help of the personnel and material of the University Simulation Center, because in Parma, at the university, there is a simulation center where there is different labs for practical skills, and there is also personnel and material that could be used to record these workshops and make the first videos to share on YouTube in a dedicated channel, and then use Facebook and the network of IFMSA to share with the other students this YouTube channel, okay? Why on YouTube? For the same reason of Facebook. We think that the easiest way is to use the exciting web platform. I did a search and conducted a survey to figure out which are the most used platform, and the survey was shared through the national mailing list of the SIM, as I told, and the result is that the platform is so numerous and the most used and widespread spared by students to search information about the practical skills is YouTube. YouTube channel could be spread through Facebook page and the IFMSA Global Network. The last step is to invite in Parma students from different states of the world after a selection based on abstracts, which will be examined by a commission based on doctors as a peacemaker. And the selected student will present their abstracts during the meeting and conferences day. To increase the participation, it will be nice to give the best articles the chance to be published in a, online or I don't know where, but we can find something. And during the meeting, space will be given to conferences on peace, and in particular, as teams, we are interested in global health, role of the doctor in migration policies, the border semiotic, and to invite doctors who have served with migrant acceptance centers and war areas so they can tell their experience and I think that is the most important thing, their feelings, okay? And bring about problems that not too well known. Secondary, during this day, we will replicate an event called ProMed, Università di Parma Objective Medical Education, that is a simulation lab. There is different simulation lab every afternoon. Approximately 200 students could attend different workshops to improve their practical skills. This is an event that we have planned for this year, and we have made it in May, okay? And there was 200 students per day. During the morning there was conferences, and in the afternoon workshop to improve their practical skills. And the tutor during this workshop was other students that before this event, okay, they study and improve their practical skills to teach to other students, because we think also that the teaching between students is easier than between a professor and a student, because a lot of time the students are so afraid, okay, to ask to a professor how I can do better these things, and it's more simpler, okay, for the student to ask to another person that is at the same level, okay? I think that also you could confirm this, okay? And in this way, students from other countries may implement their skills in relation to these issues, and they can bring these knowledges and themes into their universities. So this is the ultimate aims, okay? So they could be in Parma, went to the conferences, and then to this workshop and practical skills laboratory, and then come back to their country and share with the other students all the information that they have. Okay, help me with the English that they have. Gain during this project. And what we think is that this student that will come from all around the world should have the possibility to attend those lessons and workshops near the conferences in order to respect our point of being prepared doctor in a 360 imaginary. The ultimate goal is that this work will be carried out and expanded annually in the year to create a real global network of sharing and training. So this is only the beginning, and we hope that in the next year there are different students and professors that can improve this project, okay, and improve also all these subjects in this platform, such as video or something else. And if there is the necessary, and YouTube is, okay, crowded, at this time we can do another platform. But at the moment, I think that YouTube is the best, okay, to start.
just to steal another 2 minutes, the advantage is that if we create this year, for example, a tutorial for upper waste management, this video will stay in the next years. So it's like growing up and
Yeah, you're building on what
Yeah.
you've already done.
so to summarize and getting clear of our ideas, we will do some conferences during the meeting next year for 2020. During those days, the abstract will be presented from the selected student that will come here, and we hope to have the help of the CISMA for the location and everything, and for the cost we will see. We will have those practical traineeship for students in the simulation lab, and then we will have directly those days producing e-learning content and previews and after. And this platform, this social media manager that we have, Facebook, Twitter, is like the glue that we list the whole year. We concentrate everything in 3-4 days, and then we spread. This is our idea, and all is based on emphasis. What David said is important. We believe a lot in peer education. If I teach to a guy that is 23 years old and I'm also 23 years old, he will have no worries asking me anything. And we understand us better because there is no generation gap. So we believe a lot of that. And we are the next generation of doctors in a few years. So it's better using this amazing possibility we have to create this little community that will then maybe explode.
Yeah, and also talking about practical skills and everything, I think that YouTube, we can make a free channel, okay? And using other platform could be required more expensive, and also they could be require a payment from the student. And if you would like to involve the student from developing country, okay, it's so important that it will be everything free, okay, for them. And also to make a Facebook page or an Instagram page is completely free, okay? So also this is important from the developing countries, that it will be everything free. And also for us to making this video, it costs our time, okay, but nothing else, okay? Only the material that we use, but is already at the university. And I think that the only of these steps, okay, the most expensive step is the conferences, okay? And also because if we would like to invite students from other country, from developing country or from war area, they don't have to pay, okay, for their travel to involve them better. So this is the point, okay, that we have we need help for the crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Also for
we have to find private that believes in this project for any reason. We don't have, I think, I don't know, then we will talk about it better maybe. We don't have like, it's not that we can't be financed by something, or like in our association we have a policy and we cannot
Go ahead.
and we cannot be financed from banks and all of that. It's really strict in our association. If we don't have this limit, it's easier. I make you an example. QAM, you know QAM that works in Africa. I did a conference with them, and I had a problem because they receive money from, it's not a bank, it's an association that is connected with São Paulo Bank. São Paulo Bank is an armed bank, so they invest in arms. So I couldn't actually do the conference with them. Just to make an example. It's easiest
But
if we
you
don't
know,
have
you've
this.
got 50 people coming here every year
Yes,
from
yeah.
various places. Why don't you start with them? Because they're already coming, then it's not going
Yes,
to cost you
but
anything
the
to
problem,
start
okay,
with that.
they come all around the year, and
Yeah.
they come in February, March, April, no, March, April and May, like 7-8 students at a time, and it could be also students from, I don't want to say it in rich countries, like maybe also from Germany. Our aim is not to involve, also to involve European people, but, and to have not 10 people coming,
Yeah.
maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have to attend the hospital exchange, but it's an idea, it's a
But I
possibility.
mean, if you don't have the funds to do the other, this is one way to start. And to build an international
Yeah,
community,
is
which
okay. This is true, but I know that it's not so good to talk about that, but a lot of students that would like to participate in this exchange program, okay, they would like to have a trip, holidays,
Yes.
but not speak about this problem. Okay?
Yeah, well, surely it's not gonna be everybody, but I'll bet you some people would
Yeah,
be
but we are
interested.
Yeah.
talking about 7 people. Maybe out of
So,
the 7 there will be 2 people.
I think that
start.
the best option to begin this project, okay, is to involve students that are interested in this field and in this program, okay? And it's so difficult that I could speak with a student about the peace, about all this global health, about all this program, but if it isn't interested in, okay, the discussion finish in 5 minutes.
I try to
Okay.
be as honest as possible. I'm working.
I would like to be honest, okay,
No,
and
it's-
this is another difficulties in our
Yeah.
university,
I-
okay,
I,
because for example we are
I am
2,000 students,
Yeah.
but in this project we are only 6, 7,
And
okay.
this topic is terrible because I am a human rights and peace officer, so I organize conference since 2 years. Death penalty, climate change. There was one time it came 5 people, and I paid with sponsor of Kuon like 500. They paid 500 euro to invite persons here. So it's really hard to involve students. It's even harder to involve medical students because they have a lot to study. They don't bother about other things. It's really not a nice situation. And it's not completely their fault. But if we spend so much energy, money on building such a project, I want people or students that are prepared and they demonstrate it with the abstract and are convinced, and they will be convincing others. Because if I take the girl from the Czech Republic that comes in Italy to visit Florence, Milan and Rome and to do the friendship, she attended the clerkship, she attended 3 days of promed and everything, then she go back and there is nothing. And this is a too big risk for us. Sorry.
It was very nice. I'm just saying because